Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Wlbt Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, your digital news desk host, and it is Thursday, May the 22nd. Beautiful day outside, beautiful weather. Had some great weather yesterday and are expecting more great weather tomorrow, too. We're going to look at our forecast, though, in just a little bit. If you're tuning in on our website or through our mobile app, we appreciate you. And if you're watching on any of our social streams, don't forget that you can always join in the conversation. If you have any comments, questions, thoughts, anything like that, you can always leave those in the comment section. As I say all the time, I enjoy getting to talk to you guys during this interactive newscast that we have here on WLBT Plus. Before we jump into the news, let's take a look outside. Right now, we're looking over downtown at Jackson, where it's courtesy of our Jackson water camera. You can see it's a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky, lots of sunshine. May not be a beautiful day if you're somebody that's works outside. You prefer the colder temperatures, but it's still pretty to me anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the news, give you guys the latest on some things that have been happening around our area. And testimony began yesterday up in Canton for an election challenge. So mayoral candidate Camelia Walker claims that there were significant irregularities in the Democratic Party runoff, which she lost by fewer than 50 votes to Tim Taylor. So she says the issues are related to the city's annexation that took effect in 2021, which brought people into the city who previously lived out in the county. So her challenge says those residents were not added to the statewide election management system for Canton, so they all had to vote by affidavit to participate in the primary. Incumbent Mayor William Truly, who did not run for re-election, testified yesterday that he was made aware over 6 months ago that some residents might not be able to vote. And he said that he had expected the court system to rectify that. Madison County Circuit Clerk Anita Ray, who is tasked with putting voters in the election management system, presented email exchanges about this with city officials dating back to February of last year. So testimony in that election challenge is continuing today. And we will bring you updates on that as it closes out today. Not necessarily if the challenge or the court trial will close out today, but we'll bring you updates on it as today ends on air and in our newscast. So just our goodness, online and in our newscast. So make sure you're tuning in there. And the mayor of McGee, Mayor Dale Berry, says he is not going to be seeking re-election. So he says the reason behind this is some serious health concerns. Mayor Berry made the announcement at the end of Tuesday's board meeting, revealing he had some recent heart issues and that along with medical advice from his cardiologist, it led to his decision to exit the mayor race. So despite stepping off of the campaign trail, he did confirm he will serve out the remainder of his term, which will end on June the 30th. And city leaders in Brookhaven have named a new interim police chief to take over when the current chief's term expires. So that the Board of Aldermen says that Randy Belcher, and that's him on your screen, will serve as the acting interim chief, replacing current chief Kenneth Collins, whose term expires at the end of June. The city is switching the chief's job from an elected position to an appointed position. The next board of aldermen will choose a permanent chief when it is in place. And we could soon learn how a former Richland mayor plans to defend himself against state allegations of payroll fraud, which came from a Three on Your Side investigation. So, back in December of 2023, we uncovered evidence that Pat Sullivan was taking more vacation time than he'd actually earned from a county job while he was serving as mayor. Based on a review of 6 years worth of timesheets, we estimated that Sullivan had made about $85,000 from that second job. Well, soon after our initial reporting, Sullivan resigned from his county job. He had already resigned as mayor for health reasons around the same time that we started asking questions about those timesheets. So, court documents from the Attorney General's office that were filed this week, demand that Sullivan disclose whether he intends to rely on an alibi in his defense. This approach is typically used in cases where there is just a singular event that is the basis for a crime. So in this case, Sullivan is accused of payroll fraud over the course of a 5-year period. The state is also requiring him to name every specific place he claims to have been at the time of the offense, and the names and the addresses of those who will establish his alibi. So we will, of course, continue to follow this, and as we receive more information on this, we will certainly continue to update you in this investigation. And the owner of a Jackson apartment complex who hasn't paid for garbage collection is also behind in his water bill. You're very familiar with Chapel Ridge Apartments. We've been covering them a lot lately. Well, they have a past due water bill of more than $70,000. But it's not only this apartment complex that is behind on its bills. So here's a list of 15 properties. 15 property owners who owe at least $100,000 on their water bills. Jackson Water, which is the company that oversees the water system, tells us they're trying to track down the property owners to recoup these funds, but they're running into one big problem, and that's that most of the owners are not in Mississippi. So for owners who are not paying their bill, Jackson Water is considering taking legal action against them, but they are saying that the last option would be to turn off water at these properties.
And the last thing we want to do is interrupt water service for individuals in community whose landlords are responsible for doing that. But we have to get the attention of the landlords in some way. But we absolutely make sure to inform tenants prior to that, hey, your landlord is past due on water bills. We've tried to contact them. We encourage you to contact them because in a certain amount of time, your water service will be interrupted if they continue to fail to reach out to us or pay their water bill.
So we're told 141 multifamily properties are not paying their water bill, and in all, they owe more than $7.5 million to Jackson Water in unpaid water bills. We're going to continue to follow this for you. Miss Brenda, I see you tuning in, watching from McGee. How are you doing today? And Edward says he is listening. Thank you so much for tuning in, Edward and Miss Brenda, and everybody else that is watching. So we are on your side, and we are following up to a massive sinkhole in West Jackson. We first told you about this sinkhole in April. So here is a map on your screen. You can see where it is located at. It's at the intersection of Denver and Long Street. I remember when we first covered this, I first told you about this. We looked up on Google Maps, and this sinkhole had been there since 2022, at least 2023. I know this, that like that is when it began and just kept growing and growing and growing. Well, the city did say that they would be able to provide a temporary fix while crews addressed underlying issues with pipes that were below the pavement. A man who lives nearby said the city hasn't done any work on the hole in the last 3 weeks and that it has caused drainage problems for him at his home.
We have a problem with drainage in our house because the sewer lines get stopped up because of this hole, and there's nothing we can do to clean them out. We've run snakes all the way out to the street and past, and we have to keep doing it over and over again because this hole here is stopping up all of our sewage.
So we reached out to Jackson Public Works for an update. We're still waiting to hear back from them. We'll let you know what they say as to when that sinkhole will be repaired. It does look at least like they have put up more barriers around it. There were not really, I think there was like a couple of cone type things on it the last time we looked at it. So at least it is a little bit more visible and people will be protected from riding into it, but hopefully that will get fixed very soon. Britt tuning in from Kosciuszko. Hey, Britt, hope you're having a good day. And Miss Carol from Flowwood. Hello, Miss Carol. Appreciate you guys watching. So school districts here in the metro have been working around federal cuts to make sure that children will still have access to meals here around the metro during summer break. So the Hinds County School District will be offering 2 free meals per day between June 2nd and June 18th. To do this, as cuts are being made at the U.S. Department of Education, the district found funding through the State Department of Education and other federal programs. The Madison County School District is using its English Learners program to make sure that it's not only its students, but anyone in the state can grab a free meal between June 9th and June 20th. Districts say that this year has been all about adapting and finding a new way to cover the summer eating program.
There are certain thresholds of participation that need to be met in order to get funding for some of these programs. And so for us, having this English Learner Camp where we know that we'll have at least 100 participants allows us to put the program into place and then also invite folks as we're able to scale up and have folks from the public come and enjoy the benefits as well.
The Hinds County School District says that without federal funding in the long term or money from the state legislator, they would likely have to ask the community for help with donations to help feed children during the summer months. So thankfully, they were able to find funding somewhere so that kids will be able to get something to eat for a time period during the summer. Jerry Wayne, I see you tuning in from Little Rock, Mississippi. Thank you so much for watching. And a viewer recently reached out to us here at Wlbt about their SNAP benefits or their supplemental nutritional allowance or plan. Their benefits had been stolen, and about that same. And that same thing had been happening to others. So they told us that theirs were stolen and they knew of other people's that had been stolen as well. Well, we reached out and we got some answers from the Mississippi Department of Human Services. So DHS began sending out notices last fall, encouraging SNAP recipients to protect their PIN number, personal identification number. DHS also warned that if benefits were stolen after December the 20th, the agency would be unable to replace them. So fraudsters are using skimming and phishing to try to steal people's money. Here's what DHS recommends that you should do if you're concerned about stolen benefits.
If your benefits have been stolen, please report them to us. We need to investigate. We need to identify hot spots of where it's happening, stores that it may be happening at, not that the stores are doing anything wrong, but to identify where the stores are most vulnerable. So maybe we can try to look at video footage and even catch some of the criminals putting the skimming devices on there. But we're working with all local and state and federal law enforcement agencies to identify ways that we can prevent this. The most important one is, number one, change that PIN.
So DHS also suggests that you can go to connectebt.com to set up an account to make it easier to change your PIN. Investigators are working to identify any specific locations where skimming is happening, or even hotspots that may be the source of that widespread theft. But so that it continuously change your PIN may be an annoying thing to have to do, but that could help keep you and your benefits safe. Let's see. Chris says, what's going on at the Metro Center now? Chris, I am not sure, but I did reach out to our news team out there to see if they could find out if anything's happening. And if I find out anything during the newscast, I will let you know. All right. So before we look at our forecast, let's go ahead and hear from our sponsor over at Jackson Water.
Hey, Jackson, curious about our water system? Join the Jackson Water Academy to get the inside scoop on our water and sewer operations. 3 sessions, 3 months, and a whole lot of hands-on know-how. You'll even get a behind-the-scenes tour of the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Plant. So if you're ready to dive in, head to jacksonwater.com/Water Academy or give us a ring at 601-500-5200 to apply. But hurry, spots are going fast.
And again, thanks to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus, making it possible for us to bring you this show and other content daily. So let's look at our forecast right now. Chris, I'm still looking to get some answers for you. So just be patient with me here. So looking at our temperatures outside right now, we are sitting in the upper 80s, a little warmer than we were this time yesterday, but still it's not too bad. We look at our current radar, we're going to see no rain in the area at all. And over the next 12 hours, we're not expecting any rain, going to be dropping down into the upper 60s in the overnight hours. Next 7 days is looking pleasant as well. Unfortunately, though, we are expecting rain on Memorial Day, Monday, but our first alert weather team will be here at 2:30 today to give you that in-depth look at the forecast and let you know all about that, let you know what you can expect on Memorial Day and in the days leading up to it. So there was a ride of silence that was taken yesterday, and it was from bikers, dozens of bikers. They gathered in Ridgeland to cycle for a cause. And so the ride takes place every year in May for National Bike Month. And they are honoring those cyclists who have been either injured or lost their life in a crash with a car while riding their bicycle. So the ride yesterday was 6 miles long with an escort of Ridgeland police. The ride started in the parking lot off North Park Mall, and the route was through County Line Road, Highway 51, and they ended up back there at the mall. Organizers say it's important to remember those who lost their lives as well as bring awareness to cyclists.
You may or may not know, but I'm a cyclist, regular cyclist all the time. And so I want to be sure that people are careful and safe out there and watch for our cyclists. So it's very important to be out here.
Just reminding people that people ride bikes for fun, out of necessity, to run errands, to go to work, go to school. Ridgeland's a bicycle-friendly community, and we want to continue to build on that award we received year after year.
According to the Federal Statistical Office, over 400 cyclists were killed in traffic accidents last year. So I know, especially out on the trace, I take the trace every day coming to work and going home, and constantly have to watch out for bikers on the trace. So I have just to keep a good eye out for them, watch out for them, because they do have a place on the roadways as well. And the Mississippi Department of Archives and History has completed a preservation and stabilization project at Windsor Ruins. So this includes a walking trail and new signs to tell the story of the plantation owners and the people who were enslaved there. So Windsor was destroyed by a fire in 1890. And the only remains of the mansion are 27 of its original 29 columns, the balustrade, and 4 iron staircases. So 3 disappeared in the years after the fire. 3 of the staircase sets disappeared, but one set that now serves as the entrance to Oakland Memorial Chapel is at Alcorn State University. And speaking of Alcorn State University, just saw some exciting news that is going to be happening there. Just posted on our website. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about it. Jamal Roberts, Meridianite, Mississippi guy who won American Idol on a Sunday, is going to be performing in Jackson, and it's to help benefit Alcorn State. So let's see, he's going to be at the Jackson Convention Complex on September the 19th. He's be performing at 7 p.m. The concert presented by the Kirkland Group and why is that getting so hard to say? Alcorn State University Athletics. This will raise funds to help support student athletes, according to the facility's website. You can go visit this story on our website, wlbt.com, and we'll give you the link there where you can go and find out more information regarding this event and purchasing tickets. But let's make sure we get out and celebrate a Mississippi guy winning and hopefully making it big here. Well, I think he's already made it big. I know Jamal personally. He's a great guy, amazing voice. I'm very happy for him in winning. Let's talk about a senior here in the city of Jackson that has had a major accomplishment. I mean, major accomplishment. A senior, Jamie Anderson from Forest Hill High School. He had an exceptional academic and artistic achievement. So what happened was he's been accepted to more than 50 colleges and universities across the country, rather. He's received over $10 million in scholarship offers for his academic performance and music talent. So he is an active member of the Pride of Forest Hill band, and his scholarship offers include opportunities to schools like Stanford, San Francisco State University, Penn State, UCLA, UC Berkeley, not that big of a deal, just some little schools out there, but no, seriously, congratulations to him. That is just absolutely amazing. And we can totally see just by what he has accomplished in his high school years that he has a very, very bright future ahead of him. So congratulations again to Forest Hill High School senior Jamie Anderson for those 50 college offers and over $10 million in scholarship offers. That's absolutely amazing. All right, guys. Well, that is going to be it today for WLBT Plus. Don't forget, our First Alert weather team will be back here at 2:30 to look at the forecast with you. I will be back, of course, tomorrow morning for the top 3 from WLBT, as well as here, WLBT Plus at 1 o'clock. And we're going to be talking with another local TikToker who has made a lot of local restaurants here pretty popular because of her TikTok page. She classifies herself as a foodie. Her name is Kayla. She visits a ton of the local restaurants here around Jackson and Flowood and Ridgeland and Brandon, Pearl, all over the place, and gets them a lot of notoriety on her TikTok page. So we're going to be talking with her tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that. I'm very excited about getting to meet her. But I will see you tomorrow. First Alert Weather Team will see you at 2:30. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.